Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle was directed by Andy Serkis and stars newcomer actor Rohan Chand as Mowgli, and also features the voice talents of Christian Bale, Cate Blanchett, Benedict Cumberbatch, Peter Mullen, Naomi Harris, and Andy Serkis himself. Mowgli is raised by a pack of wolves under the guidance of Bagheera, voiced by Christian Bale, and Blue, voiced by Andy Serkis, always at risk of the return of bloodthirsty tiger Shere Khan, voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, seeking to rid man of the ancient jungle. Mowgli is one of those strange movie stories, how Andy Serkis had filmed all the actors' parts for the movie way back in 2015 for an October 2017 release, but because of the massive success of Disney's 2016 The Jungle Book remake, it was pushed and pushed and pushed. Netflix bought it from Warner Brothers, most likely for the studio to avoid a major failure, but it still really is a failure when this labor of love is this messy and dull. Serkis and screenwriter Callie Cloves are trying to make Mowgli a closer adaptation to Rudyard Kipling's books, with emphasis on the themes of law, freedom, and the fear of abandonment. It is such an ambitious movie, wanting to explore things never seen before in any Jungle Book story, as well as using intricate motion capture that end up blending the phases of actors like Christian Bale and Benedict Cumberbatch with a panther and a tiger for a strange, unique effect. I also loved Nitin Sawhney's musical score, which feels so perfect for this kind of story about finding your place in a dark, terrifying world. Where Mowgli suffers is pretty much everything else. The ambition is there at all times, but the execution is left lacking, with every performance just an overact, even if they're a voice or if they're a newcomer like Rohan Chand. Bale, Serkis, Cumberbatch, and Blanchett rely on shouting or exaggerated speech to give their characters quote-unquote depth, which just feels awkward. People like Matthew Rhys and Freida Pinto appear out of nowhere for nothing live-action roles. Pinto has no lines for that matter, and Chand is just not in this world. He is trying too hard in these big acting moments and never feels invested in his mostly CG surroundings. There's also one particular scene where he is locked up in a cage trying to talk to Bagheera, where the ADR is rather horrendous. Speaking of CG, Mowgli's effects are such an important part of capturing the world of the jungle and the anthropomorphic characters, just like the Jungle Book, and yet they don't work. Mowgli is not animated well against Bagheera or the wolves. The movement of the animals feels clunky, and while close-up shots of the animal characters are incredibly detailed, the backgrounds and environments are sloppy, cramped, and ugly. Mowgli is one of those no-win scenarios. If it had a theatrical release, it would have lost a lot more money, and had it been a really good movie on Netflix, people would have demanded that it shouldn't have been sold off to the service. Maybe all of this, from the writing, production, and distribution, was ill-informed. The performances are left lacking, the story is plodding and flat, and the immense effects are uneven at best. So Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, in the end, is just an experiment that didn't work, and I'll say that Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle is a C-.
C. It's not doing so well.
So Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, have you seen it? What do you think about it? What do you think about this review? Let me know down below, and if you want more Mr. Movies, follow the links coming up right now, and thank you for watching.